Buckle up for another episode of Ghost Facers, a supernatural rewatch podcast. My name is Richard, and sitting shotgun as always is my brother in podcasting, Reed.
Where are you, little burglar?
What?
I am fire.
Oh my god. What?
My claws are spears. Sorry, it's me, Norm. Norm the Dragon.
Oh, hey!
Sorry, I was caught in my other form there for a second.
Oh, cool.
Happy to be here.
Yeah, I'm glad. I can't wait to have a dragon next to me this whole podcast.
Yep, that's me, a dragon.
Norm. You'll be seeing a lot more of him in this episode.
And in future,
Oh, Norm's
series
joining us.
regular Norm the Dragon.
Can't wait. Let's get into it.
Ghost Facers! We're facing ghosts! We're others, we're not, we're ghosts! Ghost Facers! Stay in the kitchen when the kitchen gets hot! Ghost Facers! We're facing nightmare, we're facing dread! Ghost Facers! We're facing faceless, we're facing dead!
Welcome to Ghost Facers. Today we're discussing Season 6, Episode number 12, Like a Virgin.
Touched for the very first time.
Like a virgin. I'm loving
really-
this echo. It's really helping
It's really
me.
hard for me not to do it like in the Moulin Rouge style. Like a virgin.
Oh,
Touched for the very first time.
I don't like that. This room is
When you hold her and you touch her.
wow. Yeah, this room is way more echoey than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, that's why it's great to record it.
Yeah, people are loving it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're recording not in the studio.
I need a lot of foam for Christmas.
Yeah.
All I want for Christmas is foam.
I mean, look, I could shake it up a bit. That'll foam it.
No, that I don't want froth.
Oh, well, then I'm really going to foam it in.
Boo.
I'm what some might call a slime rancher.
And I refuse to elaborate.
Nope, that's all you need to know. We're at Casa de Reed,
That's right, baby.
and so if the quality is dipped, that's because we're not in the studio.
I think we are. I think we're in the studio.
Oh yeah, okay.
This echoey piece of shit.
With the worst mics that we started.
with the OG mics.
That's true.
I don't think Ghostfacers is
No,
use these mics.
no. This is the most that I've let. This is the most I've let the production for Ghost Facers drop. Actually, last week was pretty close, but
No, that was great.
it was half good.
And there were no delays.
No, none. Things were perfectly timed.
Yeah, exactly.
Speaking of our high quality,
Yeah.
we've got a review.
Oh, you're goddamn right we do. I hope it's about how good last week was.
It's actually about how good this one is.
This current week?
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Curious to see how this shakes out.
From Courtney,
Okay.
who says, "Hey, Canna Daddies,"
Ooh.
which that's a thing I don't know where it came from, but I really love that they've been calling us that.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Sorry.
What? Oh, yeah. I saw a bus the other day that made me laugh so much. Sometimes there's a bus, like if you go through the Tim Hortons drive-through, there's occasionally a bus that's parked there.
Okay.
And every once in a
sure,
while,
yeah.
there's a bus that's parked there and it says, sorry. And then it says like, not like,
Oh, yeah.
Not
Well,
in
yeah,
service.
buses say sorry if they're not picking passengers
which I
up.
think it's so fucking Canadian to be in a Tim Hortons drive-through, look over and see a bus that says sorry.
Yeah, in America, they say go fuck yourself.
Yeah, go fuck yourself. Go find another bus.
Hey, I'm driving here.
Yeah, that's kind of the idea.
All over America. Everyone talks like that.
They continue to say, "I really hate that you can only leave star reviews on Spotify and no comment. And in case you're wondering about Reed, I did leave a 5-star review."
Thank you.
About Reed?
About it, Reed.
Oh.
Like probably directing it to me.
Oh, okay. I care.
Or they've just made an artist profile for me and you've given me a 5-star review, which I'll also accept.
Oh, sure. XD, which is that?
That's like the smiley face
Oh,
with the
sure.
like the eyes.
I love your podcast.
Thank you. It is mine.
The other unmentionable podcast doesn't hold a candle to you guys.
That's right.
And the lack of horniness on that other show is something to complain about.
Yeah. I'd like you all to go and leave reviews on the other podcast
1-star reviews
that complain that they're not horny enough.
Yeah, I think that as good as a 5-star for this podcast will be a 1-star for their podcast.
That's so so mean, so petty.
Yeah. Also, if you want to do the same,
Not horny enough. Don't spend enough time talking about sandwiches.
Yeah.
What the fuck is this show?
Also, if you want to do the same thing for Taggart and Torrance. Just start a battle with people who've been nothing to us, if not kind.
If not kind, yeah.
Look, my life's boring. Why not spice it up a little with some
Yeah.
internet drama? They continue to say, I need my podcasts thirsty, informative, and hilarious. So thanks for checking off the list.
Yeah. What's sexier than knowledge?
Knowledge.
I'm not relitigating this. It's a totally normal. It's normal.
Yeah, a thing you have to say for things that are normal.
It's normal for one's childhood sexual awakening to include
a cat.
Nala.
A cat.
They draw her fucking sexy.
Yeah, it's the cat's fault.
Why does she give Simba fuck me eyes? Can you feel the love tonight? I defy you not to get torqued up watching that movie.
Is that never a thing you want to hear in bed, though? Is can you feel the love tonight?
Yeah, can you?
Can you?
Yeah.
Is this a fine amount of love?
The peace the evening brings.
Look, this is the peace the evening brings. Can you feel the love tonight?
How I psych myself in a gun away. Can you feel? More like the circle of wife. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. It's just puns that don't mean anything.
I came up with there's a
Thank you for the review.
they're not done yet. There's more.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Just
keep going.
Yeah, it's fine. There's a First Nations treat that we eat up here called bannock.
Yeah.
And I serve it at the cafe that I run.
Yeah.
And on Saturdays. And I came up with a really great idea. No, it's okay. It's not offensive.
How many nations will be offended?
At least the first.
Sure. Okay. Yeah.
I came up with an idea that you should combine banana and bannock.
Banana neck.
Well, and I said it should be called bananic.
I mean,
I then laughed for like an entire day.
Bananic is
It's a great name,
pretty good.
right? Then I messaged the person who makes it for us, and I was like, I don't know if this is just fun wordplay or an actual good idea, and they were like, hey, let me see what I could do.
Bananic?
Right? And then I said that we should serve it on a swing and call it a banana hammock.
Banana hammock? Yeah, I mean, obviously. Of course, yeah. I like it.
Yeah. They continue to say.
Right, back to the review.
Yeah. I also want to give a shout out to my Discord peeps.
Hey.
Y'all are awesome, and I couldn't have paid for a better group of internet buddies.
Same with us.
Yeah, you know what? It's actually free to be on the Discord, but you have to pay for the friends.
Yeah. You could just be there by yourself if you want. You're shadow banned until you pay.
You guys are definitely worth $2 a month, but I'm glad I only have to pay $1.
Aw, thank you.
I like that that's the limit, though.
Yeah.
I may double it, but that's it.
Yeah, I mean, listen, we're fine. I wouldn't give us more than $2 a month.
Hey, easy. We might increase it at some point.
No, not like this.
Or add another layer.
No.
Love you guys. Sincerely, Courtney, a.k.a. Wayward Sister.
Aw, thank you so much. That's very, very sweet.
We appreciate it.
Yeah. Our Angel Radio crew is dope.
Yeah, much better than the people who run the podcast.
Well, I mean, one of them's pretty cool.
Thanks,
There's
man.
a guy with a pretty cool echoey room to record in. He's pretty chill.
Yeah. What he doesn't bring to as crunchy treats to ruin a podcast.
He also doesn't bring as a good room. Yeah.
All right. So this episode aired February 4th, 2011.
Wow.
We're in a new year, baby.
I was about to make a really bad joke. I'm glad I didn't.
Oh, because unlike the other ones we've made,
It's fine.
it's no banana.
It's no banana hammock. Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll move past it then.
That's a sweaty joke too.
Oh yeah, because we've never done one of those.
I was gonna say, like, if
Mhm.
you like swing back and forth and experiment with ancient DNA, you'd be like Dr. Hammock. Like Dr. Hammond.
Oh,
Jurassic Park.
yeah, you shouldn't have said that.
Hammock Park. Nope.
Written by Adam Glass, directed by Phil Ascriccia,
Screecha.
viewed by an estimated 2.25 million viewers.
Not bad.
Down 0.2.
Pretty
Yeah.
solid though.
Yeah. Not bad. We're still in a great spot this week.
So is that only 1 week then that dipped
Yeah, so
below
far,
2?
considering the reputation this season has,
Yeah.
right?
Relatively, I guess that's a show of the loyalty of the
Fan base,
yeah.
definitely. Well, let's watch the promo
Okay.
and take a look.
So this promo, they only focus on the virgin thing, and the text says, "Save yourself for new episodes."
Yeah, I don't love.
You're
it.
gonna want to wait to crank it until Supernatural's back on, baby.
It is. I mean, it is the first taste.
Diddle yourselves crazy when these episodes return.
I will say, thank God this episode didn't air when Kripke was the showrunner, because we actually skirted slightly safely by with this, considering that it's this show and they're like virgins.
It's true. Actually, this episode basically
There's still a couple moments.
there's a couple of but they're pretty subtle on the scale of Supernatural not handling things well.
Yes, yeah.
This episode basically gets away with it.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's a couple cringy moments, but for the large part, not too
Yeah.
bad. But yeah, I mean, there is a funny Castiel being like, "That's awkward," which I'm like, I don't even remember him saying in the episode.
Well, because it has nothing to do with
the thing.
this. They just cut it in.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. But yeah, it's nothing to do with the episode. There's no reason to want to watch it. There is an interesting fact, though, which is that the episode was originally supposed to air on January 28th,
Right.
And ended up getting pushed until February because they didn't want to compete with American Idol, which they were losing
Right.
in the ratings too. So that is why that happened.
Interesting.
But let's talk about the title. Of course, Like a Virgin.
Yeah.
Well, that is
The Madonna song.
of course. It tells the story of a woman who is no longer a virgin but meets a man who makes her feel like she was touched for the very first time, i.e. a virgin
She
again.
made it through the wilderness. She made it through.
Ooh.
She didn't know how lost she was until she found you.
Sorry, Dracula?
That's the Moulin Rouge.
Oh.
Do you think I don't know a bunch about Moulin Rouge?
I mean, I should have expected you to.
Yeah.
It's got...
Do you think I don't know a bunch about Baz Luhrmann's Red Curtain trilogy?
Wait, what?
Romeo and Juliet, Moulin Rouge, and what's the other one called? Strictly Ballroom, are like a thematic trilogy of movies by
Oh.
director Baz Luhrmann.
But also something that's French and has Ewan McGregor in
Yeah.
it. It had your number.
And it's like a good musical.
Yeah.
Like it's somehow good.
And a thing you don't like, yeah.
It's got big clownish performances in it.
Yeah, and John, what's his name?
John Leguizamo.
Yeah.
John Leguizamo is always like a full letter grade added to whatever movie.
Absolutely. All right, so
How did John Leguizamo never end up on an episode of Supernatural?
I mean, you're not wrong. Yeah, I think he's slightly ahead of it, but
Well, I mean, he's maybe a bit too big for it, but
Yeah.
I feel like he would have been it would have been neat in an episode. You just see like a different set of hunters, and one is John Leguizamo.
I would've-
That would have been kind of fun.
yes, absolutely. Okay, so we've got some international titles for us.
Okay, are most of them like close?
Oh no.
Oh, okay.
No.
Okay, so we're like
Yeah.
we're off the edge of the map.
Two of them are nice.
Yeah.
Two of them are about the other thing.
Sure.
And one of them is not like any of the
Are
things.
any of them called like "Here There Be Dragons" or something like that?
Close. You're on the right path
Yeah.
for one of them, which is the German one.
Okay, dragons are here.
Imagine, okay, you know that that animated movie about dragons?
Yeah, How to Train Them.
Yeah, what if it was the German version of that?
Teach your dragon.
No,
Control your dragon.
more aggressive.
Own your dragon.
More aggressive.
Fuck your dragon.
More aggressive.
I'm not comfortable with that.
It's How to Kill a Dragon.
Oh, Jesus, Germany. All dogs go to Kevin. Good Lord.
Yeah, the German title is How to Kill a Dragon.
Sure.
The French title.
It's got to be something to do with virgins, right?
No, actually.
Really?
They went to the other thing.
They go with dragons.
Yeah, sort of. The thing that
okay. Forked tongue, fire breath.
it's the middle point between.
That's the way we perform oral sex.
It's the middle piece that connects the two. I think.
Like a promise ring or like something about purity or something.
No, it's the Sword of Brunvik.
Oh, Jesus. The weirdest fucking details.
I don't love the Hungarian title.
Uh-oh.
It's the worst possible one.
You wouldn't be in this mess if you just fucked.
Worse than that.
And then I can't guess.
The Hungarian title is Pretty Girl as a Gift. Yup.
Yikes, Hungary. Good Lord.
And based on the weird wording of that, it feels like, and
There must be like a Hungarian word for that.
it's two words in Hungarian, so it fully feels like it's
Yeah.
like a phrase, which can't come from anything good.
Yeah, or just something like I was gonna say like medieval. Like,
Yeah.
It's kind of
I hate that.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Well, that's fun. Here we go.
But you know what is fun? It's some featured music that we have this
All
episode.
right, let's have it.
We've got
Somehow not like a virgin.
a song I'm sure you love, Back in the Saddle by Aerosmith.
Yeah, I do like Aerosmith.
Yeah, I know you do.
I'm a little bit of an Aerosmith head.
It's like classic rock for the 90s. You love it.
Yeah.
It's right up your alley.
Yeah.
And New Day Yesterday by Jethro Tull.
Sure.
Killer. TV Guide describes this episode as: virgins mysteriously disappear, and Dean and Bobby learn that dragons are responsible for the kidnappings. Dean seeks out a weapon to slay the beasts, but he must prove himself worthy so he can claim it. Meanwhile, Dean tries to restore Sam's soul.
No. That last bit happened in a different episode.
100%.
Yeah.
And it's somehow part of that.
Yep. Nope.
Nope, not correct. But before we start talking about the details of this episode, why don't we open up Dad's journal and learn about some of the real-world lore of virginity?
Yeah, I was just going to make that joke. Let's see what the lore says about virgins. Yeah. Nice. No, let's see what the lore says about dragons.
Fuck yeah.
Fuck.
I was very excited when I thought about the lore for this episode, which has never happened before.
Yeah, baby. Well, everyone else gets excited. You just don't know what's cool or interesting. But
I know, so that's why I keep hanging out with you.
Yeah, so back in the First Age, there's Glaurung. And then, of course, and Caligon the Black.
Read
the mighty dragon, the size of a mountain.
This is not real.
Who, when slain, falls upon the triple pieces of the Thangorodrim.
This is double fake because it's about a thing that's not real in a universe that's not real.
Look me in my face and tell me it's not real.
It's not real.
Oh my God. I didn't think you could do that. Oh shit.
Oops.
My life.
So
it's a lie.
Let's talk about real dragons.
Yeah, sorry. Real dragons.
Yeah.
So, dragons generally refer to large lizard or snake creatures from mythology.
Trogdor,
of course, the most famous dragon of all.
Trogdor,
the beefy armed dragon. Had to burninate the land.
Nice.
So the English word dragon comes from the Greek drakon, which referred to any large...
Where did they get from that? Sorry? Where did they get that from that?
Nope, that's it. It refers to any large serpent, including like sea serpents and things like that. Yeah. Unzip that toga. Got a dragon
Unleash
in
the
here.
dragon.
Yeah. So the reputation of dragons differed in different parts of the world. So in the Middle East, serpents and dragons were considered to be pretty universally evil. Christianity like doubles down on that, makes serpents and things like that like a symbol of Satan.
Sure,
and stuff
yeah.
That. I'm at the risk of overstepping. I'm going to play a little coy here, but I think it's in the book of Job. There's a description of a different biblical creature, one we have not gotten to yet.
Oh.
And the description of that sounds a lot like a dragon.
Oh.
We'll be getting to it next season.
Oh.
But the description of it says, its back has rows of shields tightly sealed together. Each is so close to the next, no air can pass between. They are joined fast to one another. They cling together and cannot be parted. Its snorting throws out flashes of light. Its eyes are like the rays of dawn. Flames stream from its mouth. Sparks of fire shoot out. Smoke pours from its nostrils as from a boiling pot over burning reeds. Its breath sets coals ablaze, and flames dart from its mouth.
Wow.
So I won't name the creature that it's talking about because that's a next season problem.
Let's just say you could also call them skinny jeans.
Yes. Yeah. I don't remember that, but I'm sure that
You'll get the joke next season.
Yeah. So at any rate, that's one kind of version that they're sort of evil monsters. But in Greece and Rome, they sort of had a dual view. Sometimes they were like malevolent and sometimes they were like helpful or like good omens or whatever. And in East Asia, of course, dragons are kind of generally considered to be like good beings, like good tidings, good omens. They were this kind of deity level beings. So dragons in general, regardless of tradition, were considered to be like magnificent and like worthy of being like emblems. A lot of kings throughout history and nations have used dragons in their imagery and their heraldry and armor, like King Agamemnon in ancient Greece, or King.
Is it really hard for you to not
I feel
mix,
like William the Conqueror might have been a lion, but there are dragons in heraldry in like England and France. And
when you
things
think
like that.
about things like that, is it hard for you to dissociate between fantasy like things that you're imagining and real things?
Obviously House Targaryen.
Yeah, I feel like it's hard for you. You must like for a second go, that's from a book.
Yeah, right. Oh shit, I have a lot in here about Gondolin. Fuck. Damn it. Fuck. Yeah, Arendil in his flying ship Vingalot.
Anyways.
So likewise to the interpretations of dragons being good or evil, there were some different interpretations of their like look and their abilities. So in antiquity, in ancient I think it's Babylon, you get like Tiamat, which Tiamat had like 4 legs, had wings, but the Hydra in Greek myth is considered a dragon, and the Hydra is more of like a serpent, like more snake-like, and obviously is like a water dragon. In European myths, dragons are typically large. They're winged. They're capable of flying, breathing fire, all that kind of stuff. In Chinese and Japanese myth, dragons might possess like powers of the air, but they're often not winged. They're just like long lizards or snakes even. In some cases, they could change shape and size. They could even turn invisible.
Whoa.
There's this other idea, too, that I wanted to touch on, which is the idea of the dragon horde. So it might date, the idea of dragons like hoarding wealth might actually date back to some like Proto-Indo-European traditions in which dragons might take things that were of value, which included like cattle and women.
Oh, sure.
Not a huge leap then to say if those are of value, then anything of value is a thing that a dragon might take. So then we start extending to like money, gold, treasure.
Sure.
this leads to like greed being kind of like it becomes like mythologically like part of the DNA of dragons, that they are like historically greedy. And actually in Beowulf, they talk about the idea that like dragons can't use money.
Yeah, it is a very funny thing.
So the only reason for them to have it and hoard it
to keep it away
is to be greedy.
Yeah.
They must just be fundamentally full of avarice, because it's not like, great, now I can invest.
Yeah.
Like, they don't like, they just sleep on it, or you know, like think of like how it's used in Tolkien or in you know, in other fiction. That idea of the dragon horde is basically just meant that they embody avarice and greed and things like that. So yeah, some iconic dragons from literature. Obviously, if you're into Game of Thrones, there's lots of big dragons there. But there's Smaug from The Hobbit. There's the Jabberwock from Through the Looking Glass. Yeah, lots of
Dudley, the racist dragon.
Yeah, yeah. I am very badly burnt, laughed the boy.
So good.
It was the badly burnt Albanian boy from the day before. You did not kill me with your dragon flames.
So good.
There you go. Those dragons, baby.
Wow. So goddamn metal. I love dragons.
Trogdor!
Burninating
the countryside, burninating the peasants, burninating of the people in the thatched roof cottages.
Now let's take something really cool and metal and then do this episode with it.
Yeah, let's make them look like people.
Yeah.
Although I will say, this episode played around with it more than I remembered it doing.
That's true.
Yeah.
Well, let's begin with the then, which is actually a road so far.
Yeah, so was this like there was a mid-season break, clearly, because I think
Yeah.
last week's episode happened in December.
Yeah.
So we're clearly coming back from...
It feels very weird, though, doesn't it?
Well, because it says the road so far, but there's
Yeah.
no Carry On My Wayward Son.
Yeah.
It's like kind of like a weak
Yes.
thing, too. It's like very low energy. I don't know if it's just the music or...
Well, because
or
it
what.
is the Aerosmith song.
Yeah, but it's just kind of like...
Yeah, it is very boring.
Yeah.
But we get basically flashes of this entire season so far, all the episodes.
Yeah.
But more specifically, we obviously focus in on Soulless Sam,
Yeah.
the interactions with Death.
Like,
And
how did you not know he didn't have a soul? Look at those cum gutters. You idiots don't even know what to look for.
Somebody did message us online and was like, or was on the Discord where they're like, I really want Jared to listen to the podcast and just hear us call him Cum Gutter Sam.
Cum gutter Sam. Season 6. It's the summer of Sam, baby.
Cum Gutter Sam.
Or because it's December, the winter of my pitch a tent.
What a weird thing to make sexy.
Yeah. Yeah, you know how you all love Richard III?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's hotter
Now
than-
is the winter of my pitch a tent, made glorious by the son of York. The son of John.
Yeah. Dick the Third. And of course, putting Sam's soul back.
My horse cock. My
yeah.
kingdom for a horse cock.
All right. Jesus Christ. Let's get into this episode. The cold open.
I'm all right.
Cold open for this episode.
Sure.
The girlfriend. First over Oregon, a couple is in a plane caught in a storm.
It is funny to see such like an effects shot.
Yeah.
You know, and you know the effects are
What they are.
fine,
Yeah.
but it's just funny to like, why are we like we're opening in a little plane? Like,
Yeah, it is a weird one.
yeah.
But there's reasoning.
It's
for it.
it's interesting though. It's cool.
There is reasoning for it when I'll get to it in a minute. So the girlfriend, Penny Desertine, which what a fucking name,
Yeah.
looks out the window and notices something outside.
Well, she's already scared. It's like a storm. They're flying through the storm, and he's like, "It's fine. I'm a pilot, toots."
Yeah, everybody knows that wild storms like this in a tiny plane are always okay.
Yeah, he's like, there's more. He's like, it's safer than taking a car or whatever.
Yeah,
he
the
says.
storm's more afraid of you than
She
you
should turn to him in that moment and be like, I think that stat applies to professional pilots. But yeah, he's like, I'm sure it's fine.
Yes.
I play a lot of Star Fox. And then
He does a barrel roll.
yeah, try a flip. And she's terrified, and then she sees something out the window, kind of like Well, not totally, but it's we're slightly evoking the terror at 20,000 feet, like the Twilight Zone thing, where she sees something out the window that he doesn't see. It's not on the plane, but
Yes.
something has gone by, and she's like, "It was huge. I don't know what it is," and he was like, "I'm sure it's." I don't know. There's the runway. Like whatever. He just doesn't. He couldn't care.
Yes. But she pushes her worries down and leans back and closes her eyes. It's quiet for a few moments, and then the plane is ripped open.
Yeah, like the windscreen or whatever you call it, the front window.
That feels weird. The windshield?
No, the front window. I think I've got this. The bay window of the plane.
Yeah, that's what they call
It's
it.
ripped open.
And Stan's ripped out.
and he's just gone.
Yeah.
And then the plane, you hear like the. She's like, fuck. Like, actually, I think she plays this very well, considering it's, as an actor, she's just like on a set in a still thing. But like, I actually think she plays the terror of that moment very well. That the plane is starting to go down and she's terrified and he's just gone. And that's it.
Yeah. Well, so the opening of this episode is actually very closely resembling the opening of the series premiere of Batman the Animated Series on Leather Wings.
Oh yeah, the Man Bat thing.
Yeah,
you're right. Actually,
that a passenger in an aircraft asked the pilot. They saw that out the window. They see a large
Except
bat.
that one, it's a Gotham police blimp. I'm pretty sure that sees a Man Bat flyby.
Yeah, very cool.
Dr. Kirk Langstrom.
All right. Anyway.
Let's see what the lore says.
So we then move to Bobby's panic room,
Yeah.
where Castiel emerges. Like
rolling his sleeves
I
down.
know.
I was just elbow deep in Sam.
It's very much what it feels
I
like.
didn't need to be, but I was.
Yeah. Yeah, I like the idea that like they have another angel come by and they're like, oh I can feel Sam's soul. Yeah, it's fine. And they're like, wait, you didn't put yourself inside of Sam. And it's like, no, why would you do that?
Yeah, like Cass's, damn it, Castiel.
Oops.
We even sat him down and made him watch that fucking video. HR training. Stop putting your hand inside people. All you have to do, you touch their forehead. It's so easy to check for a soul.
I know, but it's not as fun for Castiel. Where Castiel...
He might as well be taking like a giant rubber glove off.
Yes.
In the way that they've staged this scene.
But he was checking on comatose Sam, checking to make sure his soul is in place, which it is. Dean takes a quick look at Sam and turns to Castiel and asks if Sam is ever going to wake up because he's still out.
Yeah, and Cass is like, I told you not to fucking do this. He might never wake up.
Well, what he says was, I'm not a human doctor. and Dean
then
goes,
why were you even in there?
Kicks.
I also like that he like rolls his sleeve up to do it. It's like, I don't want to get
Sam
I don't
on
want
me?
to get shit all over my clothes, even though it's clearly magic.
Yes, I know.
He's just like, oh no, I gotta better unbutton and roll this up.
Like, hold on, take my watch.
Yeah, I don't want him to get like a yarn infection. Fucking. It's like I'm being like nitpicky. Like that doesn't bother me. I just think it's funny when we like code those things.
Yes.
Into like the physical business of
Yes.
the scene. It's like he didn't have to do any of that.
No. But Dean
He could put
goes.
his head in if he wanted to. He could fucking look around.
Dean asks, like, can you just take a guess? And he goes, all right, probably not.
Yeah.
You probably won't wake up ever.
Yeah, you stupid son of a bitch.
Yeah.
He's like, do you know what I felt when I was in there?
Yeah.
I felt alive. No,
Yeah, for the first time.
because it felt like his soul had been like skinned alive.
Yeah. Insane.
Which is
thing to
fucked.
say.
Yeah.
Dean's, and he basically says, I told you not to do this. And Dean's like, I'm not going to let him be a fucking T-1000.
Yeah, and then Cass said, if you were going to kill your brother, you could have just done it outright. And then he disappears, which is like,
Oof.
that's a fucking line and a half.
Yeah.
Cass has had some real salty lines the last few times we've seen him.
It's like he's going through hell or something. Yeah.
Hey, only the Civil War in heaven.
It's very much the way the show treats it.
I mean, it is, yeah.
While thinking, Dean looks at Sam laying in, prone in the panic room. He decides to head upstairs and share a drink with Bobby.
Yeah.
They talk about Sam's situation downstairs. Bobby mentions how much Sam has been through and that Sam is always somehow bounces back.
Yeah.
Dean mentions that Sam has never been through something like this, and Dean then notices the case file on Bobby's desks. Bobby mentions that a couple went up in a plane and crashed. The pilot was found 17 miles away, torn to pieces.
And charred to a crisp. Wasn't that the other thing? That he was
yeah.
like totally incinerated.
The girl
And they
wasn't
never found the girl's body.
Absolutely. And for some reason in the article it says that she's never fucked.
Yeah, but it's like in the headline.
Non-fucked chick goes missing.
From the Oregon Daily Times. Non-fucked chick goes missing. So fucked up.
As they are about to discuss it, Dean hears...
Police are conducting an extensive search for an unfucked female individual. That's so insane. It's true though to me. Oh no, never mind. I just solved it. I was gonna say, does the virgin thing ever actually
matter? Yeah.
And then
It does.
I mean, barely, but
Yes.
yeah.
As they're about to discuss it further, Dean hears his name called from the side, and it turns out to be Sam.
Yeah.
Sam is very happy to see them.
Yeah. You guys are going on a hunt? You need a couple of cum gutters?
So while
It's me, I'm back.
it's Reed's throat.
Yeah. The scene direction just says Reed's throat walks in the room. Jesus. Good Lord.
Gives Dean a huge hug, and we immediately
Yeah.
it's like, oh, this is not Soulless Sam.
Yeah.
It feels very different. And he's like, just like, oh my God, Bobby, you're alive! Like,
Well, yeah, and then you basically piece together he has no memories post jumping into the pit.
yeah. And he's like, he's like, how are you alive? And he's like, well, you've been gone for a year and a half. Like, some shit happened.
He's like, whoa,
Really?
dude. And they're like, yep. And nothing happened in that time.
yeah. He's even surprised to hear that Castiel is alive and well. Dean asks Sam how he's feeling, and Sam says that he's hungry.
Yeah.
And he goes to Bobby's kitchen and basically just
I'm
like
hungry.
eats
Have
the-
I only been eating puss?
Soulless Sam didn't eat puss.
Yeah, you're right.
No.
But he would be like, but what do I get out of this?
Exactly. He's bad in bed. I don't care what the Discord says.
No, you're right. You're right.
Uh,
You're absolutely right. Joke rescinded.
Dean asks Sam what he remembers, and he answers by saying that the last thing he remembers is jumping into the cage and then waking up in Bobby's panic room. Bobby's shocked to hear that Sam doesn't remember trying to kill him.
Yeah.
And starts to mention this, but cut off by Dean.
Yeah, Dean just keeps going, yep, and nothing happened, and everything's good. And isn't it nice to have a win for once, Bobby?
Sam asks how he got back, and Dean says that he made a deal, and Sam's pretty pissed, but he's like it's with death, but everything is
And everything's square. I don't owe anything.
Yes, exactly.
It's all Gucci, baby.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And Bobby's like, yeah, it's great how neat and clean this all is, and he's like, yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
Sam asks Dean if there's anything else that he should know, and after a pause, Dean answers no and offers Sam another beer.
Yeah.
Later on, Dean brings Bobby a beer while he's working. Dean talks to Bobby and Sam.
A rare shot of Bobby actually working on anything in that junkyard.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
They talk about the case, and Bobby mentions also how he still has misgivings about Sam due to the soulless Sam trying to kill him 10 days ago.
Yeah, he says he went full Menendez on him 10 days ago. Yeah.
Yes. Which I could go on and on about the Menendez brothers, but just like Google it.
Yeah.
It's a long thing. I was like gonna write. I started writing it, and I'm like, this is too much to a side tangent.
So yeah, he's Bobby's saying like, listen, he's back. I'm glad. I need a little bit of time because he did try to fucking gut me.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's like, but Dean mentioned,
Which is totally fair and reasonable. And actually, I think he plays that scene very well because he's not saying like, and I can't trust him, or like he's not doing any of that bullshit. He's just saying like, I'm pretty shaken.
Yeah.
By almost being killed by him.
By basically
I'm glad
my
he's
son,
back.
yeah.
I need a little
breather.
I need a bit of a breather here because I can't just forget it. I know it wasn't fully him. It was a little bit him.
Yes.
Like I think he does a really good job of playing like a very reasonable
kind
of position for Bobby.
Very
to have.
believable. Yeah. Dean responds by saying that they can't tell Sam the truth, though, because they'll risk breaking the wall the death created to protect Sam. Bobby warns Dean that Sam will eventually find out about this, but agrees not to tell Sam.
And Bobby's position is like, wouldn't it be better if he heard it from us? Dean is like, of course not. Lies are good.
Yeah, when have they ever hurt us?
Name one time that a lie has been bad.
Of course.
Ever.
He also adds that it won't be pretty when Sam finds out, but he returns to fixing the car.
Yeah.
Bobby and Dean then prepare to head out on the case and leaving Sam behind to rest, but Sam is not asleep and insists on coming along as well. And he's basically like, Dean, remember when you came back and immediately went on the case?
He's like, hey guys, I'm ready. I want to help. And Bobby kind of goes like, that's great. Why don't you two catch up? I'll work phones for Rufus or whatever. He kind of makes something up.
Yes, and it kind of raises some suspicions, I think, for Sam, that things are maybe not as cut and dried as he was told. And Dean starts to ask, or Sam starts to ask about that, but Dean responds by saying, it's just Bobby, he's in a bad mood.
Everything's fine.
Yes. Now just get back to eating Christmas dinner.
Yeah.
In the Impala now, heading for Portland, Sam confirms that the two girls that have vanished have no connection between them and the plane crash.
Yeah,
victims.
so we learned that more girls have vanished, not connected to planes.
Yeah.
Apparently not really connected to each other. But there has been this kind of like pattern happening. So
yeah, they also then start talking about the time that Sam's been away, and he's like, why didn't you do the thing I asked you to do? You didn't go have this apple pie life.
And Dean's like, how do you know I didn't? He's like, look at you.
And he's like, I did.
Yeah,
year.
I like this too. That Dean, like they are having a moment. And Dean's like, yeah, I lived with Lisa in bed for a year. Didn't work out.
Yeah, no more information needed.
Yeah.
Sam also comments and Dean is actually the same as before. Dean says that, he did live with him for the year, but he got pulled back into hunting. Sam and Dean then go to visit Penny's sister.
Yeah.
Who's reluctant to talk to any more people. Sam tells Sam basically tells that he understands, and
I do like how they framed this, where they're the FBI guys and Sam is like, I really understand.
Just such a juxtaposition.
Was it like 2 episodes ago where he was like, let me in, you piece of shit. I know you're lying.
Yeah.
Tell me what you know.
It's like, oh yeah, this is the Sam. Yeah. Like, it's funny. It doesn't feel like a whoa, but
it's not like an enormous performance, but I gotta say,
he pulls it off.
It is enough that you go like, he's been making choices.
Yeah.
And you kind of go like, way to go, buddy. You did it. You did it. Yeah.
Yeah. You found the limits of your performance.
I mean, listen, I'm trying not to be shitty about it.
I'm not.
Okay.
Sam tells, he says that he understands, and he talks her into letting them in.
Yeah.
So they investigate the case further. The sisters let them in, and Dean,
God, creepy ass room too. Like bright pink, like kid room.
I love that that this show is basically equating to, it's like, if you fuck, like you become like a real person,
or the inference of the opposite. Where it's like, if you don't have sex, you're like stunted.
You're a child.
Which is like, that's not fair either.
Yeah. Very weird.
Yeah.
Because it's like, that's basically
I will say the episode slightly gets away with it. I know we're not quite there yet, but when we get to this idea of like I don't know, there's something I find inherently creepy about the kind of religious purity thing.
Yeah.
And that I kind of buy the slightly stunted
Sure,
thing.
Yeah.
But because that's the only context we usually see that in this show, it ends up being that the show is like, if you don't have sex, you're like a weird, child person.
Yeah.
Which is like a weird, bad message to throw
100%.
Yeah.
She mentions that Penny only went on the plane because of Stan.
Yeah, a totally normal name for like a 24-year-old.
Yeah, who also is a pilot but looks kind of like he's 40.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of things happening there.
Yeah.
Kind of feels like, hot take, Stan deserved it.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
He absolutely deserved to be eaten by a dragon.
I mean, he just got burned. They found his body.
Sure. Yeah. At the motel, Sam is doing some research on the missing girls. He figures that the two girls did church work, but Penny wasn't a Christian.
Yeah.
Then Dean reveals he stole Penny's diary from her room, and Sam is clearly angry and shocked by this.
Yeah, which again, you know,
Yeah,
like the
so-
other Sam would be like, "Oh yeah, I like siphoned money from her bank account. Whatever
Yeah.
you have to do."
Yeah.
Um,
It's these small details that it's like they do a good job of being like, no, Sam's bad.
it's very well constructed, I gotta say.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dean like reads it and in the diary says, "I'm gonna give Stan my most precious gift." Calling it that creeps me out too. Like, do what you want.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with that, but like my delicate flower, like
Giving
ugh,
this
yeesh,
gift.
no, thank you. Ugh. But at any rate, he reads that and he goes, "So, you know, couple of church girls, and maybe we're talking virgins." And he goes like, "Virgins, Sam, virgins." We don't really dwell on it, but Dean kind of has like a look in his eye where it's like, "Yeah, fuck yeah."
I fucking hate this so much.
It's a gross look, but it is interesting that they just kind of basically blow past it. And then also, either in this scene or a quick scene not too far from, Dean goes like, "I don't really dig virgins. I like girls with experience."
Which is better, I guess. But
It's better, but then why was he like virgins?
I know.
Like the episode can't decide if it wants to fetishize
Yes.
the thing or if it wants to make Dean like a man slut. Like,
Yeah.
which of the things is? I mean, I guess it's trying to have both, but
because at the end of the day, like the obsession over virginity is about like ownership,
yeah,
and that's fucked.
yeah. Yeah.
I don't like it. I did hear it also described yesterday as a better way of saying, instead of saying like giving your like the gift or whatever,
Yeah.
calling it your sexual debut.
Oh, that's fun.
yes.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah. I like that a lot.
And introducing.
Yeah.
I love that. That's really fun.
Yeah, that's much better, I think.
Yeah, we should treat sex like the
Like a
the
debutante?
billing of a movie.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
This summer coming.
Yeah. With Willem Dafoe. And
Man, I could be so lucky.
yeah, with the what's that like Lars von Trier quote where he's like, "His dick was too weird. We couldn't
I mean, God, you
it
put
was off-putting. We couldn't put it on screen."
you put Defoe and I in a room, and it's always the Willem won't them.
I also like when people Photoshop like a bigger smile on, but it's Willem Defriend. It's Willem Defriend and Willem Dafoe.
That's good. I like that. Dean is reading from the diary, and they figure out that she was a virgin.
Yeah.
So
So then they're like, "So what sort of monsters are into virgins?"
ugh.
It's funny that no one. I mean, we can't show everything every time. This isn't like a criticism of the
Yes.
of the writing necessarily, but it's as that moment was happening, I wanted one of them to be like, "Is this connected to angels? Isn't Castiel in the middle of a
Yeah.
Aren't virgins important religiously?"
Feels like it.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I love that they're just like, they give no thought to what's Castiel's been
No.
going on. Be like, "Hey, weren't there a bunch of like holy relics missing or whatever?" They're like, "Man, it couldn't be that. It's
No.
got to be something else."
Yeah, let's go for the farthest reach.
That's the thing that I kind of love about it.
And it ended up being right.
I mean,
but-
they're right, but it is funny where it's like, "Hey, there's a bunch of things that keep coming up. Should we think about whether or not it's connected to that?" It's like, absolutely not.
yeah. No. It's
How
not.
How could it be?
Yeah. Name one other time.
Yeah. It's
So
like they don't know they're in a season of like, "Hey,
Yes.
is this part of the arc?"
yeah.
That like nobody turns to each other and goes like, "Is this like a?"
This feels connected to the other.
No, I
stuff.
think this is more episodic than that.
Yeah, no, this is a monster of the week.
It needs like a
situation.
Rick and Morty level
Yes.
of like awareness. Yeah.
So at a local high school, Melissa is partying with friends, saying goodbye. She is walking across campus on her own when she hears a weird noise.
Yeah.
On edge, she moves faster when she looks up in the sky and sees something descend upon her, and
And we
runs
see
from
like wind moving.
Yeah,
I gotta say, this is the bit I didn't really remember. I mean, it's not spoiling anything to say. Eventually, when we see the dragons, they're just dudes. But between this and the first scene with the plane,
Yeah.
there's this implication that they take on a human
Yeah,
form, but they
yeah.
are like actual fucking dragons. And I could totally respect the show being like, "We don't have the budget for a dragon."
Yeah, we can do some shadows, but
But in my memory,
they never even
in
come
my memory,
close.
they don't even try.
Yes.
And then I was watching this and I was like, that's a fine workaround. Like,
Sure.
I actually felt better about it this watch through than the last. Like, my memory of it is they were like, I don't know, dragons just look like people.
Yeah.
But in this one, it's like, oh no, it's just like it's just the budget reality of it. But they do play with the idea of them actually
transforming,
having wings and taking on that form and having claws and fire, like all that kind of shit. And you go like, okay, like I can respect that. That's fine.
Totally. And much.
I actually think I'm happier about it having rewatched it than
Sure.
my memory of how they treated dragons.
That's fair. Much to her luck, though, she trips and falls, and basically escapes from the dragon.
Yes, yeah. I don't know how that. Yeah. Well, I mean, we don't really see her escape. She trips and falls, and she screams, and you assume she's going to get captured. But then we just see her in the hospital and Sam and Dean are there in what is maybe the most uncomfortable scene in this episode, because they start talking to her.
Oh yeah.
She goes, and he took. This is going to sound crazy, but it looked like a dragon, or she says it looked like a giant bat or whatever. But
yeah,
she's talking about it. She goes, "You think I'm crazy? This is also going to sound crazy, but he took my ring." And Dean goes, like a purity ring or whatever.
Yeah.
She goes, yeah. And he goes, but not you. And she goes, no, but it gave me these scratches. And Dean goes, so he essentially goes, you fucked though.
Yes.
Why would he take the purity ring and not because they've already decided that virgins is the thing. And so he goes, if it takes the ring and not you, you've obviously fucked. And she has this thing where she goes like, whatever the name is, she goes like, Dylan Smith doesn't count. And we just cut away and you kind of go like,
that infers a lot.
but the way she delivers it, I was like, did she get like attacked?
I know.
And then you just cut away and we never go back to it. And I was
fucking
like,
hated
holy
that.
shit.
Yeah, I know.
It's a really it's just about, it's the quality of the performance. Like, it could just be like, I hooked up with him at a party. It doesn't count. I shouldn't have done that. But
yeah,
she says it with so much like
fear or like
pain and shame and stuff. And you go like, was she attacked in the episode? Like, just doesn't deal with it. And then you go like, oh, I don't feel good about this at all.
I know. I really hate that. But she says she passed out. When she woke up, the thing was gone.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, so they basically realize that she's not a virgin. That's probably why she wasn't taken.
And Dean's like aggressive about it.
Yeah, it sucks. But it's also like, well, if Sam's not being the asshole, someone's got to be, I guess.
I guess. Yeah. Yeah.
As they walk out of the hospital and towards the Impala, Dean makes a joke, and Sam comments on how he has been gone for a year and came back, and Dean's jokes still aren't funny.
Yeah. Which is itself not a funny line.
No, it's not.
Like, I feel like that I actually think Sam and Dean's rapport in this episode's one of the stronger points.
Yeah.
But like that line, he just goes like, oh, well, I've been gone a year, you're still not funny. You're like, Jared's back, baby.
Yeah.
that line landed like a lead fucking balloon.
Yeah, there's some comfort in his bad performances.
Yeah, in a way. Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, he is bad.
He was kind of too good as soulless Sam, and it's like, nah,
there was an imbalance on the show.
Yeah, this feels like a warm blanket.
Yeah, a warm wet blanket.
Yeah, gross. A warm wet blanket. I've had pneumonia for months.
So back at the hotel. Sam has hit a roadblock on research online while trying to figure out what likes virgins and gold.
Yeah, so he keeps typing because they discovered that, I guess, the ring, the gold purity ring. Yeah, he keeps typing like gold, virgins, blah, blah, blah. And he keeps coming back to like a D&D,
World of Warcraft. Which is such like a cheap, like, dorks love fucking...
Yeah, is the monster this week a Dorcas?
Which also, so there's this funny connection between like...
But Dean is like a dork.
I know. But also saying that like, well, it's all just virgins. It's like, yeah, but guess what? It's like, you're either saying that only men can be dorks, or you're saying that two dorks won't fuck each other, which is like... Not, or even still, that dorks can't be gay. Like, it doesn't make sense to me that it's just like, well, they must be virgins because they're losers. And it's like, no. Guess what? You've never been to fucking, speaking of dragons, you've never been to Dragon Con.
They do talk about, well, yeah. I mean, isn't Dragon Con like the most notorious like fuck fest?
Yes.
Yeah. We'll be at DragonCon next year.
You'll have to drag on us out of there.
Jesus. What was I gonna say? Oh, it's in this scene where Dean is like, "Did you see the creepy pink room or whatever?" And again, it's that idea that like virgins are like stunted half people. Like it's like you know, do you need to get tucked in to like just because you're not having sex or whatever?
And also, you can want to get tucked in and get fucked in.
Jesus. I didn't like that phrasing. There's a real uncomfortable Venn diagram there.
I want to get tucked in and tugged up.
Good Lord. I like going to get a massage and getting a sappy ending. It's where right as I finish, they say everything's going to be all right.
Oh, I thought you just meant it comes out thick and like viscous.
Oh, no, not like
a
pre-sap.
sappy ending.
No, I just meant it's like schmaltzy.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. We have a meet cute afterward. Yeah.
It's never thing I want to be told is my meat's cute.
Anyway.
So Dean is confused and Sam tells Dean it's dragons and it can't be possible.
I do love this where they're like, well, we should get a second opinion. They call Bobby and he's like, what's the lore of dragons? And Bobby's like, it's not the Loch Ness Monster, Dean. Dragons aren't real.
Yes.
Which
I love.
It's a very cute line. I enjoy that. I also love the idea that like they also thought angels weren't fucking real. Like
I know.
at this, I mean, they don't linger on the doubt too long, so I actually think they handle it really well. But
Yeah.
the idea that anything is not real at this point, just go like, great, it must be. And he's like, okay, fine, I'll look into it.
Yes. He also asks Dean how the line to Sam is going, but Dean cuts him off and hangs up.
Yeah.
While waiting for Bobby's call, Sam and Dean look over their files. Sam looks through John's journal and has a deja vu moment when he sees the Skinwalker page.
Yeah.
Sam asks Dean if they have took on a Skinwalker recently, and Dean lies and insists they haven't. Although this doesn't convince Sam, but Bobby calls.
Yeah. Bobby's like, there's this professor,
Dr. Viziak.
knows
Medieval.
knows everything about like medieval shit.
Absolutely.
They can help you.
The scene shifts to an underground tunnel where the captured women are all locked up in cages. One of the dragons then arrives, shifting into human form.
Yeah.
You see a bit of like a wing going.
Just
like
a
shadow.
kinda, yeah. And again, I didn't really I didn't have that in my memory. I was like, that's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
Is it my prefer? No, I'd love to see a
Fucking
fucking dragon. You know,
Or I'd rather them not ever show it and just have shadows. I'd rather they don't turn into humans.
sure, but like whatever.
Yeah.
You know.
But the dragon brings in a new captured girl. The girl struggles for release, and the dragon breaks her arm and tosses her in.
Yeah,
with the
it goes like, I'll break the other one or whatever. Tosses her in the cage, closes the cage, and then like grabs it and like melts it, like kind of like a
welding it shut.
The Iron Man 3 like extremis
Sure.
fucking hand.
Yeah.
Sort of does that, which is an interesting interpretation of how Dragonfire manifests in human form.
Yeah.
I don't hate that.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Dean then arrives at Dr. Viziak's place. Rings the doorbell.
Sorry.
Just hold on.
Such a smoke show.
I know.
It's crazy.
Let's talk about the building first. The building that serves as Dr. Viziak's home is the historic B.T. Rogers Mansion, also known as Gabriola, located in Vancouver's West End.
Yeah.
It is said to be haunted. The stained glass window seen behind Dean and Dr. Viziak as they descend the staircase is titled The Three Graces, which is kind of cool. But the smoke show opens the door.
I mean, good Lord.
And tries to get rid of Dean.
Single-handedly keeping enrollment up in medieval studies.
But lets Dean in at the mention of Bobby's name.
Yeah.
Once in the house, Dr. Viziak tells Dean to kick Bobby in the groin next time Dean sees him.
Yeah.
Which confuses Dean, and Dr. Viziak suggests Dean to ask Bobby about it.
Yeah. Bobby, you dog.
Yeah, hell yeah. It's not the first or the only time that we get that side of Bobby, which I love.
That's pretty much everyone's reaction to Bobby is like, he's a smart son of a bitch, but god damn that man.
Yeah.
Makes me so angry.
Love it.
Yeah.
Dean asks Dr. Visiak about dragons, and she answers it's been about 700 years since they were last seen, which actually like not that long.
Is it last seen in general or last seen in North America?
I think they were just since they were last
okay.
seen. Which
Okay.
again, not that long ago.
No, but I mean, puts it into the Middle Ages. You know, if you're thinking of like St. George and the Dragon, like those kind of like
Sure,
English
yeah.
myths or things like that. It's funny too. I didn't really touch on this in the lore segment, but like sometimes we do lore and we talk about a thing like a vampire or whatever.
Sure.
And obviously people have believed in vampires. It's not that belief wasn't sincere, but you kind of just go like, whatever. Vampires,
Yeah.
they just believed it, whatever. But there is this kind of weird feeling with dragons, even in myth. The idea is that like, well, at one time, of course they were real.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous to think that there's a dragon now, but like obviously they were.
I think part of
there is this kind of like I don't know why, but I think something's just like slightly different in the consciousness about
I think it's
dragons.
Dinosaurs.
Maybe it's because it's like dinosaurs.
Because my
or
guess is that
something.
like fucking in the medieval times they probably found dinosaur bones and were like, well, this is fucking proof.
I mean,
Like
it could be that. I mean, also they would like the word dragon just got applied to any large lizard and
Yes.
stuff like that too.
Yes.
I've also read an interesting thing that dragons maybe are kind of captivating because we have a sort of evolutionary aversion to reptiles and snakes and things like that.
Sure.
Like there's like a
Well, that's because humans existed at the same time as dinosaurs.
something like 39% of people have a fear of snakes, which like
That's a pretty high
which
percentage,
suggests a sort of like biological programming to be like
Sure.
watch out for these shifty fucks.
Yes.
Like
Like your wife.
yeah, no, she's not a shifty fuck.
No, I
she's
meant-
afraid of snakes.
Yes,
yeah.
that's more what I meant.
She's very afraid of snakes.
Hilariously afraid of
Yeah,
snakes.
pretty comically afraid of snakes. Yeah.
So Dr. Visiak continues on by saying that the only way to kill a dragon is to use a blade forged with dragon's blood.
Yeah.
But there is only a few left.
Yeah.
Lucky for Dean, Dr. Visiak reveals that she had acquired one and it's in the basement.
And listen, I love a self-possessing woman, and I'm not criticizing this, but there is
Okay.
this slight implication here where it's like, how did you get your hands on the sword? And she goes like, oh, I slept with an ambassador, and it's like,
Why do you...
I mean, you could totally read it the other way too, which was like Dean would do that to get his hands on
Yes.
something, and we wouldn't bat an eye. Good for her.
Yeah.
But there,
I know what
I
you're
think
saying.
it's maybe
I know
just
what you're
because
meaning.
historically, like,
This show...
well, this show, but also just like writing in general, it's like, well, a woman could only figure this out if she
Yes.
used her body for it. But like,
Yes.
I don't think that's the intention here. I think the intention is that she is kind of a dean.
Yes.
She's sort of like just very like self-possessing.
All I
like,
want to do is see those two fuck.
I mean, God, I mean they have some chemistry.
100%.
I mean, if you told me in the trivia that they just hooked up off screen, I'd be like, yeah.
Yeah, of course.
You see them talk to each other in this.
Yeah. Good Lord. But they do head down to the basement.
Dr. Visiak is like 100% my type.
Oh, yeah. Is she? Oh, my God. The revelation I'm having.
Yeah, I put sword in the stone, and you know what I mean? Yeah. Whoever pulls me out gets to be king of England. Jesus.
Yeah, in that situation, it'll be just like the Sword of the Stone. You won't be able to pull out.
No.
Anyways,
When we break up, she says it's because I have a sort of Excalibur.
wow. Nice.
Nice. Nailed it.
So,
She does name Excalibur as being like one of the legendary dragon blood swords that is like out in the world.
yes. I think she does mention something about like it was sort of like in fact vogue to put swords and stones or something like that.
yeah. Which is cute too.
But this is the sword of Brunvik.
Yeah.
Which can kill dragons, comes from it actually comes from an old Czech legend. According to the legend, Brunvik has obtained the sword which can kill any creature. While traveling the world, he killed a dragon who was about to kill a lion. This is the reason why there was a dragon's blood on the sword, and why there is a lion on the coat of arms for the Czech Republic,
Interesting.
which is kind of cool.
That's neat.
Dean attempts to pull the sword out, but is unable to.
Yeah. He's not worthy.
I mean, you definitely see like what I assume is at least Dean's like cum face in this while he's trying to pull that thing out.
I do like the idea, like I do like his face, like the slight embarrassment, like this hardly ever happens.
Yeah.
Like as he can't get the sword out is very funny. I think he plays it really well.
Yeah. Dean gets another idea, but warns Dr. Viziak that she's not going to like it.
Yeah. Yeah. He puts a bunch of fucking plastic explosives on the stone, blows it. Looks like the sword is free, goes to grab it, and it got fucking narcilled.
That's
just
true,
just a shard of it. And he turns around and goes, "You have insurance for this?" Mwah, mwah.
Fucking Jesus Christ.
He's also on the shit list now. He and Bobby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back at the motel, Sam calls Bobby asking for help on finding the dragon's lair. Since there are no caves, Bobby suggests to think of some alternatives.
Like less literal.
Yes.
There's no caves in the area. Think less literal. What's
Cave-like.
cold? What's cold, wet, and dark?
Yeah. My ex-wife. Whoa.
Hey, don't get no respect.
Since there are no caves, Sam hits sewers since dragons seem to like dark hidden areas.
Yeah.
Sam thanks Bobby and then asks Bobby if he's okay.
Yeah. Hey, Bobby, you're being mean to me. What's up? And he's like, I'm fine. He just,
Don't try to kill me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bobby lies.
Anywho.
Yeah, since he did promise that he wouldn't tell Sam. And insists that nothing is wrong in the last year and a half that involves Sam, and hangs up.
Yeah. Which is a totally normal thing to say.
Of course.
Yeah.
This leaves Sam further curious, so he attempts to summon Castiel.
Yeah. And Cass shows up and he's like, hey, you're fine? And he's like, yeah. And he's like, I'm kind of surprised. And basically, Cass lets the cat out of the bag because he wasn't part of the covenant not to tell Sam.
So you know the show that has like 4 main characters and we told 3 of them? Like,
once again, nobody gives a shit about keeping Cass in the loop.
this is what you get paid for. Yeah, that's what happens.
Yeah.
Castiel is unaware that Dean Bobby didn't tell them that he was soulless, and Sam catches on that he wasn't told everything. Castiel then asks Sam what it's like to have his soul back, and Sam is surprised by
it's
this.
like, right, because I was walking around without one.
Yeah.
Of course.
Sam asks Castiel to fill the blanks for him, and then we see Dean laying down the final preparation and blasts the stone away.
Oh, yeah, sorry. We jumped around a bit, but yeah.
So now safe, they head back into the room, and the sword is in pieces. And Dean returns from Dr. Viziak's to the Hope Motel room.
Yeah, with just the fucking hilt with the shard kind of bit on it.
Dean shows Sam
I need
what's
elves
left.
to reforge this.
Sam tells Dean what he found with Bobby's help,
Yeah.
the location of the dragon's lair, which is the sewers.
Yeah, so they jump down there and they're like, this is gross. But then they see like a pile of gold and they go like, all right, I guess dragons are down
That's
here.
so funny.
It's just like loose.
I know, it's
like,
a very...
It's not even like where the cage is like.
It's not like a lot of gold either, because the show's just like, man, we can't get this much, even fake gold.
But if they're getting it just like a ring or
Yeah,
two and
yeah,
a necklace
I
at a
guess,
time, it's
yeah.
actually quite a bit.
Yeah, fair.
But it is funny that it's just like loose in a random tunnel, not like it as you'd expect like a hoard, like where we keep all of our treasures.
Exactly.
We got our virgins here in cages, and we've got the big pile, and we all sit on it when we have lunch. Or, like, like it's funny. It's just like, I don't know, put it wherever.
Just pile it there.
Yeah.
Sam soon finds a chamber with a table that has candles and an old book on it.
Yeah.
Sam grabs the book and then and then the boys hear the women screaming and they run to investigate.
Yeah.
Sam and Dean find all the women in cages, and Sam tries to free them.
Yes.
The women warn Sam and Dean that the dragon will be back any moment, but then the dragons appear in human form and attack. Sam gets stunned, and Dean cuts the dragon with the sword.
Yeah, and it's a neat effect, actually. You know, it cuts to the dragon's arm, and it's kind of like purple, and it looks like it's kind of like, you know, poisoned it a bit or something. Like I actually kind of like the effect because we've never seen dragons before.
Yeah.
It should look different from a demon getting stabbed
Totally.
or you know, the silver on a, you know, shapeshifter. There should be a different effect. So I appreciated that, I think.
The dragon knocks the blade out of Dean's hand. Sam helps and distracts the dragon while Dean goes
By
for the
hitting it
blade.
with a pipe across the head, which is really funny. Remember
Then-
that bit in The Hobbit where Bilbo just fucking pipe smacks Smaug?
Then
Put Smaug's teeth on the curb and just
fucking stomps. Then the second dragon arrives and attacks Dean. Sam goes for the sword and manages to grab it and stabs the second dragon.
Yeah.
Seeing the death of his brother, the first dragon flees.
Yeah.
After the case is finished, they head back to Bobby's place.
That's right.
It's sort of just like, well, the dragon got away.
Yeah.
Dean is looking at the gold they got from the dragon's lair, and Sam comments that Dean should just roll in it. Just weird.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to see you roll in it.
Yeah, come on. Dean says that he rarely has wealth. Then Sam gets serious and apologizes to Dean. At first, Dean tries to hide it and then asks who told Sam.
Yeah. He goes, Bobby? Sam's like, Cass. And Dean's like, Cass, fuck.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, there's a third one.
Yeah. I really should call that guy.
No, he's doing his war.
He's busy.
Yeah, he's losing his friends and family.
All of the heavens and cosmos are at stake.
Boo-hoo.
Oh, God.
Sam tells Dean that Castiel told him, and Dean comments about how Cass is such a child.
Yeah.
Sam angrily points...
They're so mean to Cass.
I know, it's insane. Sam angrily points out that Dean should have told him. Sam continues by saying that he feels responsible for what he did when he was soulless and that he should make amends.
Dean is very forthright with him too, and he says, "Listen, I'm trying not to tell you stuff because I don't know what will make this wall come down, and you could go like catatonic." And Sam goes, "Cool, fine,
Love that for me.
yeah." He goes, "I get it. All right."
He's
It's
also
like
being
an actual, basically being forthright with each other.
Yeah. Then Bobby calls Sam and Dean in. He tells the boys that he has been translating the journal Sam found in the lair.
Yeah, it's made of human skin. Also,
Yeah. Extra cool.
that's how you know it's evil.
Exactly. I mean, that is true.
It's
Bobby,
like the Necronomicon, right?
Exactly.
Like that one's bound in human
Yeah.
flesh, I think. Yeah.
Bobby tells them the book describes a place of blood and bone filled with the souls of all the monsters slain.
Yeah, again, purgatory, which
Exactly.
we've heard of. The alpha vamp is the one, I think, that told us
Yeah.
that when monsters die, they go to purgatory.
Yeah. The dragon that got away meets up with more of its kind, telling them what happened. The other dragon reassures him that they have enough virgins to meet their needs.
Yeah.
They move toward the van full of young women and grab one out and drag her to a nearby cave.
Bobby's talking about some ritual that,
Yeah.
like, excuse me,
It's like a manual to open a door.
and not just open a door, but to like let something out.
Yeah.
But he go like, I don't have that page; it's ripped out. The dragon has it. We cut back to him, and they're on this like cliff edge,
Yeah.
and he's doing some
Ritual,
incantation from the book. And it kind of just looks like hell opens up in this
Yeah.
chasm, as opposed to something different, a different third thing. But then they toss the girl in, and he's doing like this ritual. He's saying all these like Latin words and shit. And she eventually kind of like flies back up as it like lands on the cliff. And we're cutting back and forth to Bobby, and he says something in this book says mother of all.
Yeah. Mother of all.
Yeah. And they're like, what does that mean? And Bobby's like, I don't fucking know.
And that is the end of it.
Yeah.
There is a moment where when Sam and Bobby hear the dragons releasing Mother, Sam asks the Mother of Dragons. 4 months later, in June 2011, Game of Thrones debuts on HBO. It popularizes the phrase "the Mother of Dragons."
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, Mother of All appears, and she says something like, "I've been waiting for you," or "You're late," or something like that.
And I'm like, "Mommy, sorry. Mommy, sorry. Mommy."
Not compared to Dr. Physiak.
No, she's hotter.
The Doctor or Mother of All?
Mother of All.
No.
Yeah, because it's speaking directly to you.
Agree to disagree.
A British lady who's like a lore master. Yeah, I'm so surprised.
Sorry. Oh, sorry. Just drifted away there for a second.
Anyways,
Yeah, so I mean, it's time for the "Fuck You, Samuel
Campbell
Campbell." Who was the big memorial? Who was the biggest asshole this episode segment?
yes.
Who do you got?
I think it's Dean.
Right, because of the lying,
Well, the lying and the weird
the virgin
shaming.
Yeah, yeah.
And I don't love him.
I think it's Stan.
Oh, sure.
Dude was clearly 40.
I mean, that's not an asshole move as it is.
To be 40, yes, it is. It's the worst thing you could be.
Dude, we're pretty close to that.
Shut the fuck up, man. I'll never be 40.
You just had your birthday.
I promise I will never be 40.
I mean, I actually believe
I
that.
won't make it.
One way or another, I'm not getting there.
November 20th, 2027.
Yeah. Mark your calendar.
Mark your calendars. This is the final episode of
Hashtag
Ghostfacers.
last year of the read.
I mean, Ghostfacers will end in 2027.
Whoa.
So actually, I probably could.
With a boom.
Yeah, no one would miss me. Anyway.
Yeah, I got nothing to say there.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Stan because he was very dismissive of his girlfriend's concerns. He was flying in a storm like that was a good date, and later when we hear about it, he goes, "Oh, she hated flying. She just didn't want him to like leave or whatever." You go like,
Jesus.
I don't know. That's
pretty bad.
I don't love Stan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he deserved to get fucking immolated.
Torched.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Well, with that, why don't we get into our reviews on the episode? What did you think?
I mean, in general, actually, like I said, I think the interpretation of dragons is stronger than I remembered it being.
Sure.
Do I? The fact that they end up in human form, I kind of go like, ugh. But
Yeah.
also, like, what were they going to do?
Don't do dragons.
No, but this is the thing that I wanted more from the show was to do more other things.
Don't do dragons.
You could have done a version where you don't really see them
I would rather.
or something like that. But I don't know. It's fine.
I don't want to.
That's okay with me. I think the virgin thing is kind of like it feels like the way it's treated feels like a weird Kripke throwback slightly,
Yes.
but without Kripke writing it. So it's like
Yes.
so you don't feel that way, but you're still doing it. Like
Yes.
it's the show has a weird kind of tone issue there. But in general, I actually think I think Jared is good in this. Like all those little subtle things where we go like, he's back, you know, like I think that's well done. I think he and Dean have really good scenes, like some where you're like, oh, the team is back, like they're having fun, and then there's also this like Dean is lying to him thing, but there's
Sure.
a good, you know, I think there's a good balance of those things. I think Bobby is great in this episode. I you know, there's something slightly intriguing about how this episode ends, the door to purgatory, the mother of all, things like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I like this. This episode has funny moments like Dean blowing up the rock and stuff like that. It's got there's not great action necessarily. I don't think the fights are particularly good. But I like this episode in general. I'd give this like a 4, I think. I'd give this
Really?
I think I'd give this episode like I think this is 4 human dragons. Can you just for a second just bear with me?
Uh-huh.
Use your creativity. Can you imagine dragons?
Shut up. Shut up. Shut your fucking mouth.
4 imagined dragons.
Boo.
Yeah.
Fucking boo.
That was pretty good. Hell yeah.
I hate this episode.
You hate it.
I
like
hate
it's,
this
you think
episode.
it's bad.
I think it's a bad episode.
Really?
Yeah, I hate it. It's so
actually-
fucking unremarkable. It's like nothing really happens. We get no real interaction with dragons at all. We just get some dudes who are like, we're assuming are dragons.
Yeah, dudes who could be named dragons.
Yeah, that's the reality. I could not care less about this episode. Every time I watch this episode, I fall asleep and have to go back.
Wow.
I was like, oh yeah, this fucking dragons episode. God damn it.
Interesting.
Yeah, I find that it's just like, oh, more of like these guys lying to each other. Like, great. Can't wait for this.
Right.
It's just like,
But they don't keep up the ruse.
Thank
like
God.
As soon as stuff comes out, they talk to each. Like there's a multiple moments of like it's that thing where it's like season 1 would have played out a lot different.
sure, yeah.
Than how it plays out now.
But even then, it's like it's just boring. Like I just don't. I hate the dragons in this.
Interesting.
You wasted such a cool thing, like dragons. I just like. Yeah, I don't think it accomplishes what it's trying to do in this episode, which is like Sam's soul back and there's dragons. It's like, oh sweet, and then it's just like, oh yeah, Sam's soul back, I guess. Yeah, cool.
Huh.
Dragons are back. All right, cool. Dragons, cool. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Hot professor though.
Yeah. I mean, I think you've got cum eyes. I think cum colored glasses is what you have.
Jesus Christ.
So I am going to give this episode
Okay.
2.5.
That's insane. It's
Swords
not
in the
that
stone.
low. You could like, you think it's that low?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I do not like this. I hate this episode.
I just for the record, the other episode this season that you've given a 2.5 to
Yeah.
was
Also the fucking weird rape joke. Ugh.
2.5 Men.
Yeah. Yeah.
You think this episode's as bad as that
100%.
one? Interesting. Huh.
Cannot stand this episode.
Interesting.
Yeah. Well, that is it for the episode this week. If you want to continue the conversation with us online, you can do so through our Discord.
That's right. If you go to patreon.com/ghostfacers, it's only $1 a month, although it's worth $2.
At the most.
At the most. And it gives you access to Angel Radio, our community Discord server. It's
Yes.
a fun community. It's a great time. Helps to support us.
And if you want to send us an email, maybe like a note about a past or future episode coming
Yeah.
up, something that you've noticed, or maybe you have a personal like expertise within a field that specifically relates to this.
Oh my God. Are you like a
Lore master.
Are you like a self-possessed professor of medieval studies?
Yeah. Do you have a sword and a stone you could convince someone to?
Anyway, sorry, I'm back.
Why don't
Blacked
you
out there for a second.
send us a note through our email at ghostfacerspodcast@gmail.com or reach out to us through our various social media platforms.
Yeah, we're at Ghostfacers Pod on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Just a note: next week is Christmas. No episode next week,
That's right.
but we'll be back in the new year.
Absolutely.
So don't freak out.
Yeah.
We're coming back. We're just going out for a pack of smokes.
Yeah. So don't. So keep up your Patreon. Don't.
Don't you dare drop.
Yeah. Don't hold the payment.
Wow. Nice.
Which I think is like a old furniture.
Is that the brick?
I think it's the brick.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
hold the payments.
Yeah. Nobody beats the brick.
Yeah. Nobody.
No, that's
Different place, I know.
that's Bad Boy.
Nobody does it better than Bad Boy.
That guy became the mayor of Toronto.
What?
Mel Lastman.
Did he?
That's Bad Boy. That's
Weird.
He was the owner of Bad Boy. It was his son that then became like the mascot when he was the mayor.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah. Nobody's better than nobody.
Which is weird because Doug Ford ended up being the bad boy.
Yeah. Well, Rob Ford. Yeah.
Yeah. Both are bad.
Yeah. Well, I mean, one's dead.
Good.
I don't disagree.
Also, don't forget to subscribe to the
Weird
podcast.
tangent.
Don't forget. Do you remember when I'm just on full tangent.
Yeah, go
Do you
for
remember
it.
when Spirit Airlines cashed in on the whole cocaine Rob or Doug Ford thing?
No,
Whatever?
what on the Rob Ford
Yeah,
like crack thing?
Yeah, so the crack thing where it was like,
How did they cash in?
so they did. I remember I took a photo of the email. I hope I still have it.
Was it like Visit Toronto, home of the crack smoking mayor?
Better
Like
than that? It's like, look at this deal. No, we're not smoking crack. Like,
That's Jesus.
that's something you and I would have come up for an airline.
Yeah,
like,
that we would have been like, that's too
yes,
dumb.
not for Spirit, baby.
God, should I work for Spirit
I
Airlines?
feel like that. Like that is definitely up your like writing alley.
that's really funny. Yeah,
They know what their audience is.
I gotta love that.
Yeah, it was
I
great.
respect that.
Yeah, so don't forget to subscribe every single week to the podcast so you gets it automatically in your feed. Also, while you're there, why don't you give us a 5-star review so we will read it on a future episode of the podcast.
Yeah.
If it's not on Facebook or like Apple Podcasts, just take a screenshot and send it to us. We've been getting a lot of those lately, which I always love.
Yeah. I love praise.
Yes.
Heap it upon us.
Yes, we need it to survive.
Yeah.
We're like old gods.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're sucking at the teat of reviews.
Of your meager, paltry offerings.
Yeah, people used to weep at our feet and give us reviews, and now we maybe get
Now look
one or
at us
two a month.
supplicating ourselves.
Also, we've got merch, ghostfacerspodcaststore.com. Where you can buy all that. And another podcast that we have that also has merch is Dr. DC.
Yeah, check out the Dr. DC podcast. We talk about DC Comics and superheroes and the lore of those things. If you like how we talk about monsters and stuff like that over here, you might enjoy how we talk about that stuff over there.
We're also in the middle of the 12 episodes of Docmas.
Yeah,
Right now.
a totally easy pun to say. Yeah.
It's no bananic, but
I mean, I am upset at how good that is. That's a thing I would pitch.
yes, 1000%. I thought it and then
That
giggled
would be
for an hour.
This would be the meme of like of John Hamm and Mad Men. Don Draper standing in front of like the chart paper and it would just say bananic.
My 15-year-old employee was not enthused by my wordplay.
That's how you know it's good.
Yeah. Because if a teenager doesn't like it, then you know it's high quality.
Can I tell you my favorite version of that Don Draper
Yes.
meme? It's where the chart paper next to him. It's where on him it just has the word Pixar.
Yeah.
And on the chart paper next to him it just says, "We give every mom an absolute dump truck ass." That's my favorite version of that.
That's
meme.
incredible and
Yeah.
so true.
Very true.
Love that.
Yeah.
Also a great thing about moms.
Yeah. Watch The Incredible. What else can I plug?
Just moms.
yeah, moms.
I'd love to plug some moms.
Okay. All right.
Say goodbye, bitch.
Jerk.
This was a Brain Freeze podcast.